Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. This one is team selection for game week 15. We'll have a look at how I'm lined up for game week 15, but before that we'll have a look at how I'm getting on in game week 14 so far. So this is after the Wednesday games. I'm recording this during the day on Thursday, so I haven't seen the two games from Thursday night, but I made some bad decisions in game week 14. So starting off with goalkeeper, I think in my transfer plans video for game week 14 and my team selection video, I had Verbruggen starting in goal. For some reason, at the last minute, I decided to change that to Fabianski. Fabianski got 2 points. I mean, Verbruggen could do worse than that, but right now I'd much rather have Verbruggen to play than Fabianski's 2 points, obviously. So that was bad decision number one. Bad decision number two was, again, in my transfer plans video, in my team selection video, I said my moves were going to be Garnacho to Semenyo, which I did, and Dalot to Timber. Said that in both videos, had that planned all along. As you can see, I don't have Timber in my team. I decided to just do the Garnacho to Semenyo move. Now, my reasoning for that was because I hadn't really... I got to near the deadline and I started thinking to myself, okay, well, I could keep Dalot because Dalot plays Forest in game week 15 and that would be quite a good fixture for him at home as well. And he looks like he's going to be probably the starting, or one of the starting wing backs for Man United. And those positions get so attacking. We've seen Diallo get 3 assists within his first 2 games. So I thought, okay, I could actually potentially just sell Lewis instead and keep Dalot. But Dalot is more expensive, so if I sell Dalot, I get more funds in. Basically, I ended up in a position whereby I convinced myself that I could actually just play Lewis this week and then keep Dalot to play next week and then sell for Timber after. So I convinced myself that I didn't need to do that move, basically because I couldn't decide who to sell between Lewis and Dalot. I ended up selling neither. Timber got a 14-pointer and Lewis didn't start, came off the bench for 1 point. So yeah, I mean, when the lineups came out on the Wednesday games, I had Lewis benched, I had Trent benched, I had Jackson benched. Now, Trent came on and got 2 assists, 6 points. Really happy with that, obviously. Aït-Nouri did nothing. They got absolutely battered by Everton, which was actually quite a surprise for me. But yeah, then Jackson, obviously, well, we'll get to Jackson. We'll do the midfield. And Bomo, 2 points. Was expecting a little bit more. Again, I'm keeping him this week because the fixture's okay, but after this week, he could be going. Semenyo hasn't played yet. I'm not expecting big things from him, but I think he is very, very underrated right now in FPL. I think we've seen a couple blanks and then he was suspended, but the Bournemouth attack is brilliant at the moment and Semenyo is so greedy. Every time he plays, he takes so many shots. So I'm really happy I've got him. Then Salah and Palmer. This isn't a bad decision. I was never captain in Salah. I mean, Salah got 18 points, Palmer got 7, but I was never captain in Salah. So I can't even be annoyed at that one. I'm just glad I own him. Chelsea scored 5 goals. If you told me before the game week that Chelsea were going to score 5 goals, my captaincy would have been on Palmer all along. So that fixture was just too good. I was always captaining him. Not annoyed at that decision whatsoever. Cunha did have a chance or two, but obviously 2 points are not ideal. João Pedro hasn't played yet. Again, I'm a bit worried that he might be benched, to be honest, and that's going to be far from ideal because then Dalot comes in for his 1-pointer, so I don't need that. But João Pedro should get some minutes regardless. Then Jackson obviously didn't start, didn't come on at all. One thing I don't really understand, if Jackson was always not going to play this game, surely you take a tactical yellow at the weekend so that you're suspended for this game if you're not going to play anyway. Would have made sense for him to get a yellow before. I'm actually really annoyed that, well, I'm not really annoyed, but it would have been really helpful if he did come on and get a yellow card so that he misses the Tottenham game next week because, as you'll see in a second, I've got some serious benching headaches. But yeah, at the moment I'm on 47 points, so it's not great. Game week rank of 7.3 million. That takes me from 271k to 444k, which is actually not that bad of a red arrow. I thought it was going to be worse. But I could do with Semenyo doing something because he's actually really quite low owned. He's under 10% owned, I think. So I could really do with him doing something against Tottenham. But yeah, let's have a look at how I'm lining up for Game Week 15 and the decisions I'm making. So I've got 3 free transfers. Okay, so I've got my team on screen now. As I mentioned, I've got some benching headaches. As I also mentioned, I've got 3 free transfers, 0.8 million in the bank. So I'm potentially looking at making a move, although I don't think I really need to. I could roll. But either way, I've got Verbruggen in goal with Leicester away. Fabianski also has a good fixture with Wolves at home, but I will probably go with Verbruggen. I'm hoping this isn't going to be another one where next team selection video next week I end up not accidentally, but I end up playing Fabianski last minute and it's a mistake. But I think I'm going with Verbruggen. Then my first benching headache is which defender to bench. I've got Trent, he's not being benched. The other 3 are where it's at. So Anderson, I'm obviously not going to play Anderson, he's last on the bench. Dalot, if I think Dalot is going to play, then I really like that fixture, especially as he's playing at wing back. But he's played the last 3 Premier League games in a row. We've seen that Amorim likes to rotate, so I am not that convinced he's going to start that game. But if he does, then he's great. Aït-Nouri, so he'd been playing a little bit deeper over the last few weeks, but in the most recent game against Everton, he was playing wing back again. So hopefully we're going to see that going forward, and we're going to see him getting into these ridiculous attacking positions again, because if that is the case, then he's great. The West Ham defence is poor. I do expect West Ham to score, so I am not expecting a clean sheet from Aït-Nouri, but he could get an attacking return if he's playing in that role. And then Lewis was benched midweek, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Lewis come back into the 11. Also, I don't think they've got many fit defenders right now, so Lewis genuinely might have to play. So, I mean, I think Ake and Akanji may have got injured the other day, so yeah, like I say, Lewis might have to play. I will keep looking for updates on that, but yeah, not sure which one on my bench. At the moment, it's probably between Lewis and Aït-Nouri, but that does depend on Dalot and whether I think he's going to start. Then the attackers is where the benching headache gets even worse, to be honest. So Mbomo, Newcastle at home is a good fixture. Newcastle at St James's Park are pretty good. It's a hard place to go, but Newcastle, if Newcastle are coming to you and you're playing them at home, it's not as bad a fixture. And we've seen that Brentford are so much better at home this season. So I like that fixture for Mbomo. Bruno Fernandes has Nottingham Forest at home. Again, Nottingham Forest defence has been quite good, but we saw City carve them open with ease the other day. And Bruno Fernandes did play deep, which is a bit of a problem against Arsenal. So I'm kind of hoping he doesn't play that role again. But he's on some set pieces and he's on penalties, so I can't really see myself benching him. Then we've got Salah. He'll most likely be my captain. If you watch my captaincy model video from the other day, you'll know that he is very high up on the captaincy model. So he will most likely be my captain. Then I've got Cole Palmer. He's not going anywhere. He'll definitely start. Tottenham away, not the best fixture, but the Tottenham defence can be got at. Then we've got Cunha with West Ham away. Now, the West Ham defence is terrible. It's up there with like Southampton as like how bad it is. So I don't really want to bench him, but he's one player that I could be benching. Jackson is another player that, again, I don't really want to bench him, but I could. Tottenham away. This is why if he got a yellow card in the midweek game, it came on and just got a yellow, that would have been very, very helpful for me and my team. But unfortunately he didn't. Then João Pedro has Leicester away. Very unlikely I'll bench him unless I think he's not going to start or he's injured. And then Semenyo on the bench. I hate the fact that I've got Semenyo on the bench. I can't really see myself landing there. I don't think I'll be benching him. I think he's so good and he's quite low owned, which I like. So yeah, I've got a serious benching headache with these attackers. If you've got any thoughts on it, then do drop them in the comments, because I'm looking for anything right now. I'll take any little bit of bias or information to make me bench someone, because I really want to play away with these. We need that all-out attack chip again. But yeah, that's where my team's currently at. If you've got any questions, then drop them in the comments on your team or anything like that. If you like the video, do hit like, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.